So all the design came from imagination of human beings. So the building looked like organic life.
We are attracted as human beings by great design.
People are proud to live in a building that makes an architectural statement.
An architect is an artist. I think people enjoy the work of artists.
It's pretty obvious that people are into design.
Good design not only sells, but it sells at a premium in the marketplace.
I remember one day we got an email, but when I opened, I saw congratulations. Mississauga has ambition to build a future. So I think the question is, what's the future city look like? In the high-density urban context, we should introduce nature. So I was quite sure our tower shouldn't be another memorial or symbol for the strength or power. We should introduce this beautiful curve, the softness.
Hello, I'm a presenter of Team 6 Seo Shi-hyun. We conducted research on absolute world towers. Our team members are Lee Jae-woo, Seo Shi-hyun, Kang Min-seo, Lee Seung-jun, Jeon Min-woo, and Jung Sung-il. Let's start it with the presentation. The order of presentation is as follows. I will explain the basic information of building and then the purpose of the building design. Following would be the design characteristics of the building. And finally, I will talk about the structure analysis. First, basic information. I'll talk about location and type first. It is located in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Characteristically, it is sited at the junction of two main streets, Ontario and Burnham-Slope. So the absolute world towers could function as a landmark. The type of these buildings is residential condominiums. Next, I will explain building organization. It consists of two buildings, Tower 1 and Tower 2. Tower 1 is 179.5 meters high and has 56 floors. The height of Tower 2 is 161.2 meters and it consists of 50 floors. And both towers have the same floor area of 2,800 square meters. In addition, each tower has 6 levels of underground parking. Second, the purpose of buildings design. Let me explain the history of building first. In 2004, an international design competition was held to select the architect for the third tower for Absolute World. Yang Song-ma, founder of the MAD office, which is architecture design firm in Beijing, was announced the winner. Sales were to start in May 2007 with construction beginning later that year and anticipated completion in 2009. Within days of the announcement, the taller building had been nicknamed the Marilyn Monroe Tower due to its curvaceous hourglass figure linked to actress Marilyn Monroe. Volker Veracoli Architects, Toronto-based structural engineering firm, was hired as MAD's local partner in April 2007. The building was won the Empress Skyscraper Award in 2012. Architects and engineers play an important role in building design. The main architectural design was conducted by MAD Studio, and Volker Veracoli Architects was a local partner of MAD. The meaning of local partner will be explained in the next slide. Sigmund Sodup and Associates Incorporation participated as a structural engineer. Yang Song-ma is a founder and a chief architect of MAD Studio. He wanted to create a new balance among society, the city, and the environment through the new forms of architecture. So he designed naturalistic architectures to make harmony of environment and architecture. Absolute World Tower's naturalistic design reflects Yangsongma's design spirit. Volca Architects Incorporation joined the project in the capacity of Architect of Record. What does Architect of Record mean? For a short description, when an architecture firm is working on a project that is outside of their geographic location or range of expertise, firms choose an architect that is either local to the project site or skilled in that particular area of expertise. In this case, the primary architect works with the local architect to complete the project, and the local architect becomes the architect of record. Volca proceeded many high-rise building projects with Sigmund Sodak and Associates Incorporation. This is why Sigmund Sodak and Associates Incorporation was able to be adopted as an engineer for absolute world design. Throughout the process of urbanization, technological bravado, prime capitals, societal projection of wealth and prosperity became the symbols of rapidly increasing skyscrapers. The concrete groups only focused on the efficiency of the space. Feeling skeptical about these problems, absolute world designers questioned how to create residents where humans can feel the richness of nature as much as possible in urbanization. So the designers of absolute world didn't emphasize verticality. They focused on naturalism, delicacy, and human. As a residential landmark that strives for more than simple efficiency, the buildings provide residents an emotional connection to their neighbors and nature. Thirdly, let's move on to design characteristics of the building. Now, let's talk about how the design purpose is embodied in detail. The first prominent characteristic is that the absolute world towers use a curve, not a vertical line. Most of the high-rise buildings emphasize vertical lines just because they are skyscrapers. But the absolute world towers was different. The cross-section of each tower is made with curve, not with vertical line. The second feature is that it is twisted building. Tower 1, which is composed of 56 floors, twists 2009 degrees from the base to the top. The floor twists 1 to 8 degrees as the floor goes up. Because of this rotation, the building doesn't look simple and looks flexible and free. Also, it emphasized the smooth curve of the absolute world towers. The third characteristic is that it achieved the connection with nature by its iconic balcony. The smooth balcony wraps each floor of the building. The fact that balconies are on every floor and they encroach the whole floor edges is very iconic. These continuous balconies create the possibility of communal encounter and exposure to wine and sunlight. During the summer, balconies act as sun-shading elements, and during the winter, they bring in the sun to indoors. Finally, the structural analysis of the building. The two residential towers are supported by a grid of concrete load-bearing walls. The bearing walls extend and contract in response to the sectional fluctuation created by the rotation of the floors, while the balconies consist of cantilevered concrete slabs. The balcony, which includes the building, is a cantilever beam structure. Besides, it helps every resident who has nice exterior place to enjoy views of Mississauga. During summer, the balconies naturally shade the interior place from the sun, and during winter, the balconies help people to embrace sunlight and reduce heating costs. Next week, we're going to investigate two major things. First, the inside facilities of the absolute world tower. Second, we will address the structural problems that designers had to deal with. Examples of problems include how to support the loading of rotating slabs, and secondly, the heat transfer method between balconies and interior facilities surrounding the entire building. Our references are as follows. This is the end of our presentation about the Absolute World Towers. Thank you for listening.